Welcome. This is season 2, episode 8 of the Unofficial Official Story. What's up, everyone? I'm Jennifer, and I'm repping the Giants today with my SF Giants hat. Kristina shouted me out.
Indeed. Hi, I'm Dwayne, and I just realized I'm really tired because I've had a lot of gigs. I never realized it, as a comic, I just realized it. Obviously, I tell jokes. Secondly, I sell alcohol because it's 2-drink minimum. But I'm also a professional driver. Me and the truck drivers. Yeah. So anyway, tired, but I'm here for this, absolutely, and for the guest, who's a good friend of mine.
And I'm Koji, and I have nothing because those two things were totally unrelated. Oh, by the way, Kristina, I forgot to tell you, we edit it.
Okay.
So feel free to talk.
Okay.
And if there's something
so
that you
dick,
Yeah.
dick. Okay.
if there's something later that you don't want, just let me know.
Can we leave that in?
Yes.
This is a podcast where we tell you the official story. We look at the paranormal, conspiracies, unexplained phenomena, cryptids, true crime, and by the end, we're going to tell you what really maybe happened. In this episode, we're asking the question, is President Biden a robot? But first, let's introduce our guest, comedian, writer, and friend, Kristina Wong's in the house.
Hey. Dick. Thank you. Hello, so good to be here. You know,
Yay.
Dwayne was my very first love.
Right.
My second, yes.
Right.
We've known each other since the 90s.
I guess so. My
Yeah.
father,
Love as in
99.
like you guys shared a childhood kiss or
Yes.
you guys were fans of each other?
When we first met, it was it was some dance show, right? Some show
That
where
was
there
the Wu-Tang show.
dancing. Was it the Wu-Tang show?
They were performing
Oh.
the song that came out after, Triumph. They were dressed like Fred Flintstone or something. It was...
Oh yeah, Gravel Pit.
Yes. That song had just come out.
Oh yeah, I remember
And
that. Yeah.
it was on a lot, on one of the lots in Burbank, or in Studio City.
And I just remember I was making fun of a woman who was dancing too sexy for her own good, shaming.
Shaming us?
It's not good now. But
Now you
it
can't
was
do
okay
it.
to
Yes,
slut
yes,
shame
yes.
then. It was okay to slut shame then. But I wasn't calling her out. I was just sort of mockingly do a mock dance next to her.
But it was really funny, though.
It was really funny.
It caught
And then
my eye.
I saw Dwayne and we kept looking at each other because maybe I thought it was Eddie Murphy, but I was not sure. And then it turned out to be my friend's roommate.
Aw.
Yeah, we hung out. We
Yeah.
dumpster dived once. It's the only time I've ever dumpster dived.
Well, we tried to, but
we tried to.
the Whole Foods
They kicked us out. Yeah.
Because I
Wait.
had seen this great book about dumpster diving and all this, and just really
The
good
stuff that's
food.
wasted.
Yeah,
right?
and it was there for all 5 minutes, so you might as well just go get it.
Wait, so what happened? You were dumpster diving at a Whole Foods and you got caught?
Well, we tried to drive into
Around the back.
Around the
and
back.
they were like, I think the security guard was like, you can't be here.
they're used to people
Right,
coming
right.
around
They
and
have
doing
to
that all the
protect
time.
that trash from getting eaten.
Right.
I guess if you're going to dumpster dive anywhere, you might as well start with a Whole Foods because that's going to be good
Was it
stuff.
a Whole Foods? I don't know. I feel like it was maybe
super-
Bristol Farms or something classic.
Something like that.
We
Something
have
like
good
that, yeah.
taste. Dwayne and I have good taste in our
Yes,
dumpsters.
yes.
You
This
know?
is the most random thing I've ever heard in my life.
Comedy is a small world, so people, and you weren't necessarily a comic then, even though you're really funny. You showed
No, I would
promise.
go to all Dwayne's shows. 'Cause I had no life. And I was like, I would love to do this. But then I was like, you know what? I'm scared of this. So I'll do theater where people are forced to listen to you and not walk out on you or heckle you. And I've done very well in that bridge between
Yes.
the theater and comedy space.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because if I'm not funny, it's the audience's fault. Whereas if I go to stand-up club and I'm not funny, it's
Right.
really my
Also, if you're not funny in your space, which you are hilarious, but also it's like if you're not being funny for a given period of time, then you're being compelling. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Provocative.
Okay.
Exactly. You know this world so well, Dwayne. Yes.
Right.
You know the world of theater so well. Yeah. Provocative, compelling. Yeah. I'm gonna
Yes.
feel that.
Poignant.
Poignant. Yeah.
I've always struggled saying that word, but
Poignant basically means boring and personal on a stand-up stage.
right. On a stand-up
But
stage.
in theater,
yes.
you are poignant. You get grant money. So I figured out life. I don't know about you.
Kristina Wong is a performance artist, comedian, writer, and elected representative in Koreatown, Los Angeles. For real?
Annyeonghaseyo.
Oh, 안녕하세요.
Yes.
Who has been presented internationally across North America, the UK, Hong Kong, Africa. Kristina founded Auntie Sewing Squad, a national network of volunteers sewing masks for vulnerable
that was in the
communities.
That was in the
pandemic.
LA Times.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
It was everywhere.
Dang, girl.
America.
Auntie Sewing Squad has a book from University of California Press, and her show, Kristina Wong, Sweatshop Overlord, is a New York Times Critics' Pick that premiered off-Broadway at New York Theater Workshop. And it's the finalist for the 2022 Pulitzer Prize in Drama and winner of the Drama Desk, Lucille Lortel and Outer Critics Circle Awards for Best Solo Performance.
Wow.
Hey, baby.
Nice.
I rolled out of this pandemic.
I don't see target audience. She was also in a movie called Target Audience 2.0.
Was I in that? I thought I was a PA for that.
No, you were.
Was I in that? I don't
They
remember.
they threw you a scene because I'm in it. Yeah, that's how I know.
Wow, I don't remember.
Have you always been a performer? I mean, is that something that you've
I think
always...
so. Well, I'd like to say my earliest performance is middle school. I grew up in San Francisco. There was like Pick Up the Back of San Francisco Weekly back when those publications were very thick. And there was this phone number listed for the night exchange. And it was basically...
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Oh.
from San Jose and I hung out in San Francisco
And
all
it
the
was
time.
free for women to call, but not for men to call. And it was like for those of us who like prank calls, these were like my earliest performances. But I didn't realize that, the appeal of the night exchange for most men, you just get to have phone sex with underage girls calling from sleepovers.
What? I never.
Yeah, wait, what is this?
Before internet dating, before there was internet, you would leave, it was like a party line, and you would call and be like, hey guys, I'm Cindy, I'm 28, blonde. I like candlelit dinners. Just want to see who's out there tonight. And you would do that, and then
Sounds like
there'd
a
be
CB radio.
and then you would listen to guys go, "Hey, Mike, I'm in Noe Valley. Kind of feeling kind of horny tonight." And you would leave each other messages while being live on the line, and then you could request to speak in person. And basically, this phone system would play and it still exists, or at least a few years ago, with these girls from high school who I didn't really hang out with super hard. They were the stoners in high school, and now I hang out with them in my post high school life as an adult. But we were like, what if we called it? And we some of them had the number memorized, and it still works.
Oh,
wow.
my God.
Yeah,
But
there's still
these
people
guys must be getting charged like $5 a minute or something like that.
Yeah, but it's basically completely.
It was advertised, in the SFB. I never called, but I saw the ads, or maybe it was advertised.
Sure, you never called,
on the radio
Jennifer.
station.
Sure.
Listen, those are my
Convenient. No one ever called.
The point is, I'm a Pulitzer Prize finalist, but my earliest performances were 13-year-old phone sex. Completely
goodness.
uninformed phone sex.
Were you an Asian person in the phone sex, or were you?
No,
a white
no.
person?
I was I'm not gonna further. I knew then, even though that I was not gonna give people further reason to fetishize me. So I got to adopt, because you can't
You got
see
to be
me.
an actress.
So
yeah.
I got to be, I'm Cindy, I'm a blonde cheerleader for the 49ers. And my details were so uninformed. It was I want to bounce up and down on you like a bucking bronco in a tent. And these
At
guys were
13?
well, this is all the information I had for how this worked, So anyway, I'm a Pulitzer finalist now, folks. Now you know. So all of you kids out there listening who've been doing phone sex for free, you could one day become me.
Oh, they don't pay you.
They don't pay you.
Do they even meet you to know that you're not?
No, 'cause it's all on phone.
I see.
And
That would ruin it if you met up the person, I'm sure.
and there would probably be a police situation. And
They can be like,
Yeah.
we don't, this plausible deniability there.
those are my earliest performances, and I kind of prided myself on how much I was able to, coerce.
No, that's pretty cool. I just did the America Online chat rooms. That was where I got my rocks off.
Oh,
with the
yeah.
Curiosity
a little bit of
with
that,
older,
too.
weirdo, creepy men. Yeah.
I have very little experience talking to people that I didn't already know.
Yeah.
except for your work.
Except for stand up, I'm talking to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
you're not talking to.
yeah, in
you're
terms of
internet. Yeah.
Strangers
chatting or anything like that. I've done a little, but it was but Kristina, you stay in the news, which I've always thought was like amazing. You know, back your claim to fame used to be you had the car that ran on French fry grease.
Yeah. Ugh.
She converted her car to make it
Well,
run
I
on.
bought a car from some
you
hipsters who
bought a
thought
car.
they were engineers that ran on vegetable oil, and it caught on fire on the freeway a year later. And then I was in LA for 12 years with no car. I think the last time I was here, I didn't have a car yet.
Yeah.
I had a scooter that got stolen.
Whoa.
But now I bought a car last year from an older couple for $1, and that car is running just great.
Yeah, it
Just
runs
great.
on sushi.
Wait, these are some stories I can't even process. All
I
of
can't
this.
process
You are
this
so
either.
interesting.
It's so bizarro.
Wow.
What does your mom think of your career?
She's happy now. She knows what a Pulitzer is. So she's that's it. She was calling people. Like, this is the funny thing is you can apply for a Pulitzer. You pay $75. There's different categories: journalism and drama, literature, right? And a documentary. I think documentaries, but anyway, but so I applied 6 years ago with my script, The Wong Street Journal, which was about how I went to Uganda, made a rap album. Anyway,
Oh yeah, that was dope too. Yeah, that was dope.
and I was going around. I was like, I said to my best friend Brian Feldman, who also is a very he does abstract performance art, and we were like, let's submit and go around saying that we are contenders for a Pulitzer, because that's not a lie. I mean, you submit, you're a contender, and because people are so confused with language, and the people actually thought I was like, oh, she's a nominee,
Right.
And I won. I lost. Sorry, I lost to this play called Hamilton. But anyway, I lost to some play called Hamilton. But I actually was at the announcement in New York. Columbia College has put on the Pulitzers for over 100 years, and you can only show up for the announcement if you have a press pass. So NBC Asian America gave me a press pass, and I was like, I prepared 3 speeches: a concession speech, an acceptance speech, and a speech if I was one of the 2 finalists. And they just basically announced all the names, the 3 names there at this thing, knowing that, we're not going to win and that Hamilton was likely going to win. But yeah, that was sort of part of this long performance, right? Like me at this announcement. And then I gave my speeches outside to a camera, my concession speech and stuff. Because my mother was so obsessed with me winning this award. This is where this all goes back to. But my mother was like, oh, I could tell people my daughter's a Pulitzer winner. And I was like, no, Hamilton's going to win. She's like, you don't know that. Just try. and there's this family altar at my grandma's house, and my mother was praying to the gods that I would win Pulitzer. And I was like, oh my God, I've created a monster. So all I could do was sort of run full force with it, show up at Columbia College with the press pass, sit there, hear that I didn't win, and then give these speeches after, and then write this essay about not being the first Asian American female winner in drama for the Pulitzers. But then 6 years later, I became an actual finalist.
Right.
So maybe the prayers came, but they just came 6 years later. Yeah, it was so bizarre. But yeah, she's super proud now.
Interesting.
Long in the tooth, she finally out of it. But yeah.
Wow.
Now she's finally off my back.
All right, what do you guys think? We should get the story straight once and for all.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Word.
What's going on with President Biden here? All right. So here are some facts. Ever since the election of President Joe Biden, and let's be real, even before his election, okay, there has been this persistent rumor, mostly in QAnon circles, but even outside of them, that he is a robot. Actually, not just a robot, though, a malfunctioning robot.
We got this quote from a Raw Story article from March of 2021. We'll put a link in our show notes. Former QAnon believer Ashley Vanderbilt told CNN that one particularly strange conspiracy theory that's recently gained traction in the community has to do with Biden not being a real person. The person that I started talking to that had initially got me into QAnon, he was like, Joe Biden's not even real, she said. That's why he's wearing a mask all the time, because the fake face that he's wearing, the mouth doesn't move correctly when he talks. Duh. So they really believe that Joe Biden is not even Joe Biden. That was a quote.
Okay, so
So weird.
good, we're going to explore these QAnon theories. Great. Good. That's what I came here today
That's what
for.
that's what we always come here for. Everything comes down to QAnon at the end of the day.
Yeah, right.
All right, so what are some of the evidence that he's a robot? According to a TikTok account, he walks like a robot. Let's check out this video and see if we agree. I'm going to play the video. I mean, you guys can't see it out there,
I
but
saw it. Is this the one where his hand hits the thing?
yes.
Okay.
But we'll just show it to everybody. So
Yes, yes.
see it. Alrighty.
You see that? That robot?
The Twitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's the reboot.
Oh,
So
that's nothing.
Well, clearly. Listen, he shrugged his shoulder for no reason. Clearly, he's
That
a
is
robot.
nothing.
there's a link to the video in our show notes, but check it out and tell us what you guys think. Does President Biden walk like a robot? What do you guys think? Does he walk like a robot there in that video?
Well, I hate to be racial, but a lot of white guys walk like robots. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
Oh my God.
Especially old. And he's from that era where, you know, he probably was trying to, like, he got to a certain age, he wanted to find his masculinity or be, just sort of convey a certain aura. So, yeah, he probably walks with a stiffness, but that's probably practice, you know?
I mean, now this is making me wonder, are all white people robots?
Oh.
That's the bigger question.
Well, that's not your theory, is it?
No. That's not my theory. But I've seen, you know, YouTube is a you know, listen, you can lose some time on YouTube. But a lot of people do think that white people are angels, fallen angels.
What? Who thinks that?
I like the robot theory better.
Yeah. Yeah, fallen angels. And so, like,
Fallen angels, like they're what does that mean?
you know, like the number one fallen angel,
Is
you know,
the devil.
is the devil.
Yeah.
So it's sort
Oh.
of from that situation, and then they're just sort of like always
Okay.
trying to get back. And
I thought it meant like a cherub precious moment.
Oh, that's what I thought it was,
White
too.
people going,
Yeah.
I'm still innocent. I've just fallen from the sky and I'm here among you, still an angel. That's
Right.
the voice, right? You know?
maybe, but I think they've been banished. But listen, this is not my.
Banished.
This is what Dwayne
They
Perkins
could be
thinks.
robots. Yeah, I don't know.
There's a couple theories here then.
I
yeah.
will say this. The only thing I think, in a blanket sense, I don't believe in that kind of stuff. But I do think that white people, when they wear jackets, you know, when they say, "Oh, I'm cold," they're just doing that for your sake. They're never really cold. You know what I mean?
Why?
Oh my God.
Because they know you're cold, and they're like, "Well, let me pretend to be cold, so I appear." You know what I mean?
So they run hot?
They're just used to cold weather, so
Oh, because they're from that
back in
part
the day.
of the world.
This is the craziest.
Yeah.
We're going deep.
I'm kind of joking, but at the same time, like, I've been freezing, like when I've been in England, and like one guy has a pea coat on, this guy has 6 layers. Then there's a guy in a t-shirt, and he's just walking, and I'm like, he's truthful. The rest of you are not cold. I'm freezing, but you guys are just putting this. This is an elaborate. This is like the Truman Show. You're doing this all for me.
You've been thinking about this for a long time.
It's just something I think of, but it's not like I haven't taken it to page or written it. I don't go to the internet with these kind of things.
I think you've disturbed Christina. She's
No,
thinking-
I think white people are like Dwayne is opening in this portal that maybe all white people are robots. For us all. And that this whole body temperature thing.
You've never met a cold robot. Yeah, in fact, I think a robot's optimum temperature is like just above freezing. So the circuitry all works, but they don't overheat. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my goodness, you
Let's
guys.
start a race war with
I think we just alienated half our audience.
I think they know we kind of don't mean this stuff. Anyway.
I do. Okay. And so does Koji.
All right. The latest conspiracy about President Biden being a robot is due to his speech condemning former President Trump and his role in the insurrection. All right, so here's the video in question, and this can be found on President Biden's Twitter page. And as usual, there's a link in our show notes of all the tweets we will discuss.
You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that.
If you look deep in his eyes, you can see a little word that says buffering.
Yeah.
I mean,
His eyes look so different.
it's weird.
Yeah.
He does look, he looks, they show these pictures where he looks completely different
I know.
in each picture, but that could just be age or lighting. But his eyes look different in pictures.
In that video, he definitely looks like he does look like a robot in that picture.
Yeah,
I mean, his
it's
eyes.
very weird.
And also, we'll get to this in a little bit, but he doesn't blink.
Right.
I have a joke about that, but
What's the
I
joke?
attribute it to, well, people say, I don't always do this part of the joke. I almost forgot that I had this, but basically I don't drink. And I've had people say to me, you know, I don't trust anyone who doesn't drink. And I always thought that was messed up because I clearly you shouldn't trust anyone who doesn't blink. Because if you don't blink, you're an alien, like or a robot,
Right,
or a robot, as it were. So so now let's read the tweet and then watch the video. That is the evidence that proves he is a robot. And the tweet says, "Here's the two videos back and forth. Pay attention to his physical appearance and his voice. Again, both supposedly from today."
Folks, as we fight inflation, you can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop. Bringing down gas prices is a big part of the job. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American. And here's the good news. Gas prices have dropped every day this summer. That's more than 40 days in a row. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. We now have 40,000 gas stations.
Yeah, like this one, he's got the crow's feet thing going, and then the other one, he's got the
He also has more pink. Could be lighting, but it's more
could be
pink.
lighting, but his eyes are more open.
Yeah, I mean, once he's not blinking at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like when I'm doing certain shows or in certain settings, and the lights are too bright, it'll make me squint or not. Maybe that would explain why the difference in a logical level. But we're not here for logic, right? We are here.
Not at all, as we've shown.
This is a logic free zone here.
Yes.
Yes, I do think this could be a case for is there. You know, like when you had Legos and you could replace the head of a Lego man with another Lego head. Like it seems like the alternate Biden head was maybe.
Also, some people look like a lot different in profile than they do straight on. And like one of these pictures is slightly in profile. So like sometimes that gives you a whole different vibe,
Very true.
you know?
There's that. The lighting, I agree. Lighting can make you, like, your eyes react differently, the squinting versus wide-eyed. I mean, I can go long periods without blinking.
Well, the thing is, I know we're going to get to it, but it's sort of like you can make a lot of people into a robot, you know? Why Biden?
You know who doesn't blink? Mitch McConnell does not blink.
He doesn't blink.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a robot too. Maybe that's why they,
really?
you know, when people blame you of something, accuse you of something, it's usually because they're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So they're like, you guys are doing the robot thing. We know you are. Because they're doing the robot thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and maybe it's like, let's say these white MAGA folks know they're robots, and so that the rest of us do not catch on that we're being overrun and controlled by a robot race, they're going to point to Democrats who are white and say that they are specifically the robots, so that when it is revealed that we have been living inside a robot world, a robot-run world, we would blame the Democrats.
That makes sense. That ties that both of those things together.
Also, if he's malfunctioning, why doesn't someone just fix him? I watch Westworld.
what?
They bring the robots
Right?
in all the time and
That's
they fix
so
them.
true.
Not enough STEM programs.
Oh, maybe.
Right? Like maybe we've run out of engineers between the pandemic and lack of STEM education. There's no one left to fix,
And no Asian immigrants. Yeah, there you go.
no one to left fix the robots.
Wow.
All right.
This may be my favorite theory, by the way.
I know,
Okay.
it's so out there.
According to one popular conspiracist, the sign he's not a robot is his lack of blinking. This is what the tweet says. The normal human being blinks their eyes 15 to 20 times a minute. On the other hand, there's Joe Biden. And then we saw the video where he doesn't blink. So I'm not going to show that video.
But again, he's not a normal human being. Even if, let's say he's not a robot, he's the president of the United States. That's not a normal human being.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
there you go.
like I read, what's the guy's, Michael Caine's book about acting. And it's not like most acting books. It's not like find your inner truth. What do you want? He's like, don't blink. Look at the camera. You know, like it's real.
Does he say that? Does he say don't blink?
Technical.
It's real on set stuff that you could actually use. He says, yeah, don't blink during your close up.
Really? I'm trying to not blink right now.
You're blinking.
I'm blinking.
Yeah. The same training that an actor would go through These guys are, they live in front of a camera. So
Yeah, Hollywood for ugly people.
he's
That's
not he's not, that's hilarious. he's not a regular person who doesn't blink. He's like, he's run for office dozens of times, and blinking doesn't instill confidence in people. So he's like, he probably like doesn't blink for 5 minutes and then goes off to the side and like blinks 800 times in a row,
He's just taking a cue from Michael Caine. And
exactly.
Yeah, maybe you read that book.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a theory, or because it was described. Oh God, this podcast, Writing the Wongs, the writers of Rick and Morty, they were just sort of describing how white people are considered to be people at their factory settings. Right, like the rest of us of color
hilarious.
are sort of considered to be ethnic and weird and diverse, right? And then white people get to be the baseline.
It's
right?
like the MySpace page before you customized it.
Yeah, that's what white people are, according to what they've described. The factory settings it's always assumed they can be neutral and sort of be a little bit of everybody and everything and embody all these things. And if we go back to this theory that white people are robots, the robots literally are programmable factory setting,
Wow.
people.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is really, I think have we come up with a theory that's going to, we're going to help go viral, that white people
Are all robots.
are actually robots, and that's why they project and they're blaming, right? Like
Right.
blaming.
Yes, and if in particular, let's leave that Kristina Wong came up with that one. So let's just
with Dwayne Perkins.
right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the cold thing.
Inspiration.
Yeah, the cold
Right,
thing.
the
That
cold,
was-
that's right.
That's like the main proof here.
That's right.
I love it. All right. So some theories have been made to explain what's happening here, right? Like in this video here, could be CGI, deep fake, green screen, body double, hologram, or cloned.
Something we found interesting, Disney did make a robot version of Joe Biden for their Hall of Presidents show at Disney World. Could they have made two? Oh, boy. What do you guys think explains what's going on?
Well, I'm starting to wonder if he's a robot because I just want to at least consider it. I'm open. I try to be open-minded and free-thinking. So when we return, we're going to put our minds together and figure out what really maybe happened here. Now that we've discussed the facts, let's each give our theories.
My theory is kind of boring, but I'm going to go with it. So this is my theory. Listener, whoever you are, I'm talking to you specifically. Everybody else are robots except for you. That one person listening right now, he or she or they, let's be for inclusive. You are not the robot, but everybody else is.
Like Truman
That's
Show
great.
esque.
So my theory is they're onto something. They just got it wrong. You know how people are dating and like someone will be like jealous and they'll be like, I hate that girl. I know that girl's into you. And you're like, there's nothing going on. And it's usually, sometimes what happens is like the person you don't like, the person you think, you're getting a vibe. Your vibe is off though, right? So it's not like they are cheating, just not with that person. You got the person wrong, but you got the thing right. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, you're close.
Right.
Warmer,
but you're in the wrong. But because you're going down the wrong sort of option there's nothing there. You'll never find anything. And you think you're going crazy. It's just you're looking the wrong way. So is there something afoot? Yes, there is. Here's what it is. And they kept talking about this. They all thought, Joe Biden is going to die. Kamala Harris is going to hop in.
Right.
He did die. No. What we're saying is this is a Weekend at Bernie's situation.
Yes. I did that. Wait.
Oh my God. So if it's Weekend at Bernie's, that means that's actually his body up there. But it's
they can make the body last longer, and it looks different in different settings. So you have to reset it and tweak it. And there are no strings. They're using magnets now. So it's a series of magnets that move his body around. But he died, I want to say like maybe early November, right before the election. And now...
oh my God.
And so the first thing they did when he won, they had him run out to instill confidence. Remember he ran out to the podium? Yeah, so you guys are not that far off. He's not a robot. He just died a while back. And so they've got someone doing the voice. And this is 4 years of Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh my God.
And listen, if they can do a Weekend at Bernie's too, then we can have a
We're
president.
in it.
Yes.
We are all co-stars.
We can put some IMDb credit.
Yeah. We were all co-stars in the New Apprentice that was going on for 4 years.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's a good theory.
Wow.
My mind is blown. Okay, so mine is just that that he. Okay, so the other day, my friend told me that there's like this new like limitless drug. So kind of like that people
like the movie. Yeah.
like the movie that not, and I don't remember the name of it because I was like he was not supposed to tell me about this. And so he's like, because he's like a celebrity and friends with celebrities and stuff. And I had this other friend that had cheap access to human growth hormone, and him and his girlfriend would take it. And he was like, that's what all the celebrities do. Johnny Depp takes it and this and person takes it. So it's one of those things where I think Joe Biden, because he's getting older. He just had COVID right before this video. Yeah. He's on some new prescription limitless drug. And that's why he was acting weird. And that's why his eyes were like that, because he's just like, he's got something, in his vein.
So he's not a robot.
He's not a robot.
He's using
some kind of special thing that
like
the elites have
Compound
access
V
to.
in The Boys. He's using Compound V. You know what I like is that you didn't say anyone's name, except you were fine dropping Johnny Depp's name.
Am I going to get in trouble for that? Oh, fuck.
No.
Should we edit that out?
We're good.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp, if you'd like to come on our show, please let us know. We can clear the air. Wow, that's a great one.
I like that one, actually.
Yeah. And this is pretty new, right? So like nobody knows what it is, and like maybe it'll come out next year, but that's the rumors. There's some new prescription thing.
Why doesn't he blink though?
Probably because that's a side effect.
He's just juiced. He's just jazzed. But also it's kind of like what's scary about that is that those kind of things, that's going to set off the zombie apocalypse when they haven't done the testing on these kind of drugs.
Right.
I'm super excited then.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it. It had a name, and I heard it, and I was like, I didn't want to I was just trying to play it cool.
Oh,
so I didn't
interesting.
keep asking. Yeah.
Christina, what's your theory?
Well, I do like the all white people are robots thing, but I want to explore something else for a moment. I'm an elected official myself.
Right.
And
are you a robot?
I'm on neighborhood council, Koreatown.
But are you a robot though?
Unpaid. No.
Okay.
Do we believe you?
Yeah.
No.
Isn't that what a robot would say?
Yeah. Right.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Good call,
There is
Koji.
something called the political machine. We've heard this phrase, and I very much feel my experience being on neighborhood council, and to be very honest with you all, I feel like that dream that you have when you're in school again, but you don't know where your classroom is, what the homework is, that is how I feel serving my elected office. Somehow everybody else seems somewhat more on top of it but me. And I feel like it's because they are part of some of us are chosen to be part of the machine and some are not. And so I think that the fact that it's called a machine is not a coincidence. that there are some who are chosen to have special machine parts installed in them because it is
Bionic Man. I like this.
It is almost impossible to be human, as flawed as we are, and also serve in elected office. We're right now dealing with LA City Council's completely imploding.
I know.
Right? And it's not saying that I'm empathetic for all these terrible things that people like Nuri Martinez, said on tape. It didn't have me, when I listened to what they got caught for, I was like, oh man, I haven't said things like that, but I have called phone sex chat lines as a 13-year-old. Will that come back for me? Will this, here are examples of they know that no one can be, no human can be so perfect in the public eye and be public servant. So certain folks are chosen to have computer robot parts installed in them so that they can function within the quote unquote political machine.
That's amazing.
I like that. And I also like it kind of taps into what Jennifer was saying that you look at The Rock, right? Or Kevin Hart, it's like you're in 20 movies a year. You've got energy drinks. You're owning football teams. It's like, how do you physically do all of this stuff, right? And I understand you have a staff, but at some point, it's like there's something else. And so when you get these things installed, either you're a robot, right?
Yeah.
Or you're juicing, or you're part robot.
Yeah, or you're part robot. And maybe these city council people who they're constantly on tape saying terrible things.
Yeah.
Maybe they were part robot and then they turned themselves off, right? They turn the robot self out so the human part can have a meeting about redistricting. And that's when we see their flawed human side. And the public face has been this robot this whole time.
Wow.
So can we go through a couple names? You can tell me if they're part robot or not. And part okay. So
Before we pick the theory.
before we pick the theory, how about Donald Trump?
Oof. It's a different kind of robot. It's like a monster robot.
A monster.
You know?
There you go.
I think he's not a robot, but they plan on making him into one, which is this whole smoke screen is about.
Okay.
Yeah,
What about
yeah.
Ted Cruz?
Animal.
Nice.
Hillary.
Robot.
Robot for sure.
Oh, poor Hillary. She gets shut on so
Yeah,
much.
I would tend
What
to
about
agree
Bill?
with that.
Bill Clinton.
Not a robot, but he had certain parts
Yeah.
made into robot parts.
Like his penis?
Waist
Yes.
down. No, waist down, not robot.
Not robot. Oh, because that's his flaw.
Yeah, that was his flaw.
That's his one flaw.
From the
Oh, I
waist
see.
down,
You're
Bill
just-
Clinton
yeah, from his
was
flaw.
non-robot. Waist up, robot.
He's
Right.
like, why can't I be a robot down there
And
too?
the waist down could overpower the other
Yeah.
circuitry.
Yep.
Yeah. That makes
There you
sense.
go.
Bionic.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're at the point of the show where we need to pick the unofficial official story for this. So this is, of course, one that will once and for all answer this question. What do you guys think? Which theory do we want to go with? Is President Biden a robot? And if he is or isn't, what's the explanation?
I think we have 4 super viable theories, even yours, Koji, because
Even mine. Well, because this is no Tupac is Japanese.
Right.
That's like a,
but yours gets at the heart of everything, which is like every conspiracy theory is true. You're the only one who's not a part of it. You know what I mean? Like it gets at on that level.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I like Weekend at Bernie's, but I also like the combination of Christina's and Jennifer's because I think he's probably juicing. I think he's probably had an eye lift. They said his ears are different. He probably had a facelift. All this kind of stuff. It's all in the realm of either it is some sort of artificial self-improvement, right? So it's either juicing or robotic,
I see.
being a part robot. It's tough, but let's say even if he has a pacemaker, I think that counts. So that I'm going to say I like Christina's theory. He's part robot. I don't know if he has pacemaker, but
you're just saying it, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I like the Weekend at Bernie's. I think that's just the most fun.
yeah,
Of all of
that is kind of cool.
Just because it's just, I mean, the amount of people that would that would have to do that, and the amount of secrecy, and
It only takes 4 people.
how would it only take 4 people? Well, because his whole family.
They don't know.
They don't know too.
Right. It's
So
just
the wife
4
is just Mrs. Biden is just
They got
playing a
him.
robot.
They got them, they got them all, what is it, formaldehyde? They got all of that pumped. They got them pumped up, and only 4 people know.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, okay, wow, all right, even better then.
Or 6, maybe 6 total.
I know. I love all these theories. This is a really good episode where every single theory seems pretty freaking awesome. I would say I like the part robot thing because I've never thought about that. Yeah, like what did you call it? Bionic Man or something?
Bionic
Oh, yeah, like there was a old TV show, $6 Million Man.
Okay.
It's like a guy.
This is when TV was black and white still.
No. There's been movie. It was made into a movie too. Basically,
Okay.
he got hurt and he was part bionic.
See, I like that because to me that feels legitimate. Like that doesn't feel like a conspiracy theory. It feels like that science, like that he's an actual robot or a reptilian or a
Right.
dead Weekend at Bernie's type of thing. That I think this is plausible, but
He still
yet
has free
fantastical.
will. Yeah.
Christina, you're our deciding factor here. Which theory is going to be the official theory from this point on?
And I can't combine theories.
You could.
I think it's a combination of the Weekend at Bernie's and part robot.
Okay.
That I think that maybe Joe Biden is dead, but has been kept alive with a pacemaker and certain robotic parts that have kept him moving in front of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
a
like
great.
that.
That's a great theory. That's a great
So it's
combining
not
of theories.
because you weren't sure, right? The Weekend at Bernie's theory, we weren't quite clear how he was being moved around.
Right. I said magnets. I just threw that out there,
Magnets.
but yeah.
But I think it's
Which
It could be
kind of
it could be
relates to
robotic
robots,
parts.
right?
robotic
Yeah, it could be
parts.
robotic parts.
Yeah, I mean Disney made a robot of
Right.
Joe Biden. So
Right. And what I like about that is that he's definitely almost dead, but in this scenario, it's still his brain. He's still talking, right? No one's talking for him.
no, but he's dead.
Right, but they got him just before he died, right? Or did he die and someone else is talking? Or did they upload his consciousness into the cloud, onto the cloud?
Yeah, who's talking?
What if after he died and they're like, we can't find anybody, and then it was like some rapper. This is the only guy they could find. So the voice that comes out is like all of a sudden like somebody
That would be awesome.
like an old man, and he's speaking like in hip hop or something. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
And then on
Feel me?
Twitter, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
But the sunglasses that he likes to wear, those aviator sunglasses, that's a very Weekend at Bernie,
Oh, you're right.
right? So maybe when he's recharging or whatever, they
Right.
gotta
Yeah.
get the eyelids open, they put the sunglasses.
So maybe he died, right? He's part robotic, so it's still his body, part robotic. And then when he answers questions, they have some sort of decision tree that they've created, sort of like artificial intelligence, like an AI, but based on him, how he would answer something.
Well, there's enough tape on him. They could totally do that. Like deep fake. It's like a deep fake thing,
And if he's done enough personality tests, which is how the election swayed to Trump, like they had enough information on people to know how to speak to them, how to have them click on things and go deeper and deeper into certain rabbit holes.
Speaking of former president, though, he's probably upset mostly because he lost to a dead person.
Yeah.
Like he's like, what the fuck? I couldn't even beat a dead person.
Well, a non-person,
Right?
non-human person,
Non-human person.
lost to a dead person.
There you go. Well said, guys. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I like that theory. I like that he's a dead part robot.
Yeah, I like that too.
Oh, this is amazing. All right, so that's the official story. We're going to take another break, and when we return, we'll do a lightning round on which celebrities are robots. Okay, since we now know that President Biden is part robot, that's how we would call it, right? What other celebrities might also be robots or part robots, I guess? Here are a few names that have been called a robot online.
Well, the first one is Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Like I already
We just
mentioned him.
talked
Yeah. You don't want to begrudge someone who's successful and has a large bandwidth, and he's worked really hard and he's talented. But I would say, yeah, I think he's a robot only because, it's just too much. It's
Too
just,
good to be true.
in a sense. Yeah, in a sense. And if you're not a robot, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, my apologies. I smell what you're cooking, and I think it's circuitry. I think that's what you're cooking.
Well, I'm going to say that the one Asian Pacific Islander American person on this list cannot be a robot.
Yeah.
Like he's just
I got you.
He's the most
Dwayne.
celebrity. He's the most famous. And as East Asian, I claim him because there's no other.
We're nothing else.
Right.
I'm gonna say he's not. Just because it's just more of a hope than any kind of evidence.
And yeah, he may not be. He's just really good with time, I guess. Or
Kristina, what do you think?
I'm going to go with not a robot. Just maybe has a really good assistant, organized.
Who might be a robot?
there.
The assistant might be a robot.
there you go.
The
There you go.
muscles might be injections or drugs or steroids or something like that. But yeah, I would say.
What about you?
I would say not a robot because I feel like I like him, and I only would call people I don't like robots.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, what do you guys think about Meghan Markle?
Oh, I
robot?
have a theory on this.
Oh, let's hear it.
I think once she married, when she had to enter Prince Harry and all,
Enter.
I take it back. Once she had to enter
it's 2022, whatever they do.
once she had to enter the royal family, that was a political machine moment, right? Where they were trying to groom her and make her these things. And it was only, she had to leave for California to deprogram herself from robotic training. Harry as well. And Oprah, who may or may not be a robot, this is up for debate, but having a tell-all with Oprah was part of her deprogramming was part of both Meghan and Harry's robotic deprogramming from the royal family.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
so they went and became robots, and then they came back.
They
and
came to
went
California,
right,
where they live now,
right. After, okay.
to
And
deprogram themselves.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's kind of like if you buy a PC and it's running Windows, and then you go, you know what? I'm just going to scratch this and put Unix on this thing. You know what I mean?
And Oprah is the software installer.
Yeah, she's the one that wiped it clean, installed Unix.
Oh, interesting. I'll go with that one. I like that.
Yes.
that's pretty cool, yeah, because we had an episode where we talked about British conspiracy theories, and we had touched
Royal
on that.
conspiracies,
Yeah, royal conspiracy theories that, she's a robot. So I don't know. I say Meghan Markle's not. Personally, I don't think she's a robot. Definitely, whether she was or she wasn't, she's not now. I don't think she's a robot.
All right. What about Jeff Bezos?
Robot.
Robot.
No hair.
Robot. I think when we finally realize I saw something there.
Oh,
I sent
No.
something.
I was trying to think of a story. No.
Oh, okay. Because
no.
I know she's been on a date with 2 billionaires, but she
What?
doesn't.
so we were
She
trying to
won't
figure
tell
out
us who.
What are you doing here
So-
in your sweats? On the podcast?
Wait, she's out of sweats.
I
Just
know.
kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But
I'm messing up. I should be with them, but yeah.
so at some point when we obviously like the Terminator, the machines take over, but like that's not how it happens. They take over, and then before you even know it happens, and then in retrospect, we'll be like, this is the moment they took over, you know?
Oh.
So I think the machines, when Jeff Bezos comes to, his power, that's when the machines have already started to take over. He's the robot that they're using to infiltrate all human
remember
beings.
when Amazon started, everybody's like, why would you buy all your stuff on a website?
Right.
Why, like, you could just go to the store.
And it was like only selling books.
yeah, and people were
come on,
like,
guys.
yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, it's the only place you buy stuff now.
Right. And Amazon already, I read this or I saw this somewhere, they already have the capability to deliver everything with drones to every door in America, but it's off-putting. So we're not ready for that yet.
Wow.
For just drones flying in the sky with
Yeah,
packages.
robot.
So they're using people for now,
Oh my goodness.
but there's a timer on that.
What do you think, Kristina?
Robot, completely a robot. Yeah, I mean the head is a dead
head.
giveaway. Like
The bald
with
head.
that much money and not even one little speck of. Have you seen any
Right.
stubble? Like
Right.
you know how some guys like shave when they go bald
Right.
in the sides.
That's
You
a
don't
good
even
point.
you don't
That's a
even
good point.
see any like hint of growth on the side.
Now, here's the thing though. He got caught cheating on his wife. So would a robot cheat on his wife? Like, you know what I mean?
It's all cover.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Jennifer, what do you think?
I think he's a robot. Yeah. I like hate him or something, but it's just, it's so easy. He's so dang rich. It's just like,
Right.
oh gosh darn it.
And when you guys went out, I think he didn't pull out your chair. If I
Yeah.
remember
Good memory.
All right. So we'll just do these last three as a group: Lil Nas X, Kylie Jenner, and Donald Trump. Whichever one you guys want to take.
Kylie Jenner for sure
Is
I
a
think
robot?
but mostly less circuitry, more like a sort of electronic fluid. Like there's a lot of
electronic
Like she turned herself into a robot.
there's a lot of like her
That's
lips
so
and like, a lot
funny.
of there's a lot of pout.
Yeah.
Puff.
She's doing so much to herself.
Yeah.
She's practically part robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to. I would say her sister more than her, but I would say robot. And Little Nas X, I also would say robot. But then the question becomes: were they robots prior to us knowing who they were, or did something happen and they become part robot?
Well, I'm gonna say all of hip hop is a robot now. I mean, I don't know. Did I tell you about this? One of my friends owns a company where they basically create AI rap lyrics or just songs.
No, I read about that.
And then they just hire these rappers or singers to sing the song, and they just buy them out, right? They say, here's whatever amount of money, and then they own everything. And they're like, this guy has like, he has like 50 top 100 hits, and
If you can AI any kind of art, then at that point it kind of stops being art, right? It's like it's formulaic.
Like porn.
Yeah.
If we figured out how to get those real dolls,
Right.
robotic real dolls to do each other, would we need to have those weird ads on Craigslist anymore, looking for people who just showed up in LA?
Right. Probably not.
Probably not.
That's what Westworld is, right?
And could
Westworld
we
is
channel
like
those folks into a STEM school so they could fix the robots that are doing sex acts?
right.
We do that.
What do you think, Jennifer, out of those three?
Out of these three, I would say Donald Trump is not a robot. I feel like he's too much of a loose cannon. So that's what I would say about those three. Donald Trump's not a robot.
How is he still alive with the diet that he has? I
know, right?
That's what
That's
I've
very
been
true.
trying to figure out. Like how
I think he probably takes human growth hormone.
Maybe he's a non-drinker too, right? I think.
Really?
He just eats McDonald's all the time.
Does he really?
Yes. Wow.
Even when he had people to the White House, right? There were stories of he'd invite people to the White House, and then he'd like cater with like McDonald's or Burger King.
Oh
or
my
whatever.
goodness.
Yeah, it's just like
Gross.
I would be upset.
That's
The
not
first time I went to the White House and they're fucking serving me a Big Mac. I mean, could you imagine? I mean, like, oh, I'm gonna eat White House food, and then you're like, McDonald's? Like, really?
Yes, that's crazy. That's absolutely
wild.
crazy.
Thank you, Kristina, for coming on with
you're
us.
So welcome.
Please tell our audience more about like where they can follow you and all that jazz.
Oh, sure. Kristina Wong, KristinaWithAK.com. It's Ms. Kristina Wong on Instagram and Twitter.
And you have a show in Los Angeles, right?
Yes, I will be in Portland, Oregon, November, mid-December, doing Kristina Wong Sweatshop Overlord at Portland Center Stage. And then I will be at Center Theater Group at the Kirk Douglas Theater in Culver City, February 12th to March 12th.
And thank you all so much for listening. There are almost 3 million podcasts. We're honored that you've chosen ours to listen to right now. So please check out our website, unofficialofficialstory.com. And we have our show notes there. You can hear our past episodes. And be sure to come back next month because we're going to find out the answer to the question, did the ghosts of Eastern Airlines Flight 401 haunt other planes?
Absolutely. I've been doing research on this, and it's
freaky.
It's great.
That's interesting because I didn't know. I always thought ghosts were sort of like locked into the geographical location.
No, what it is
Right?
that so this Eastern Airlines flight crashed, and then they reused parts on other Eastern Airline planes.
Oh,
And
you
those
can't
planes
do
that-
that. You
No,
can't
they
do that.
they actually still do that.
Yeah.
And so they
Frankenstein.
so those people that
Yeah.
those planes that had the Eastern Airlines Flight 401, those planes were allegedly haunted. That's what we're talking about.
Dude.
Right,
It's exciting.
yeah. This pinky came from someone else, and I keep poking myself in the air. I can't help it.
All right. Well, thank you, Kristina. Thank you, everybody.
you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.